Is the screen visible
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
in full screen mode?
Yes.
Yes. So we will start with the basic part of cytogenetics. See, cytogenetics is a field which deals with chromosomes, the study of chromosomes within the cell. The genetics of chromosomes within the cell is nothing but cytogenetics. So before starting and going flowing through this through the journey of cytogenetics, we start the basics of cytogenetics with studying the structure of chromosome. Okay. So we all know the relative position of chromosome in the cell. Yes or no? The chromosome is present within the nucleus of all kind of nucleated cells. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
which are the major source of nucleated cells? If at all you want to study the chromosome, आप कौन से cells आपके body से isolate कर सकते हो? Which is the most accessible cells?
Skin.
Yes.
Skin cells.
Okay, but then
That mouth. Epithelial mouth.
epithelial cells, yes. You can even take blood cells. Your WBCs are the major source of your WBCs. In fact, आपके जितने भी cytogenetic labs है, okay, if at all one wants to do any kind of chromosomal testing, especially the woman who is pregnant, who is expecting a baby, अगर उनको कोई doubt है, the gynac prescribes for some test. Okay, majorly the amniotic fluid is taken or the chorionic villus sample is taken. That will go into the detail later, of course. But agar aapko, if at all I want to go in for any kind of genetic testing, okay, and I feel that I'm having some kind of abnormality. Okay, so the most accessible cells are my WBCs. Why? Because blood से मेरे WBCs isolate हो गए lab में. They will be cultured and then they will be analyzed for any kind of chromosomal abnormality. ठीक है, so chromosomes are present in all nucleated cells. Definitely RBCs को exclude करना रहता है because they are enucleated. So this is a typical structure of a chromosome. You all have seen this and studied this basic structure. So yes, going into further detail. So chromosome means chroma. It literally means chroma, that is color, and some denote, I mean, means the body. So chromosomes are nothing but they are colored bodies. Why they are called as colored bodies? Because these particular structure can be stained using certain typical DNA specific dyes. Okay, you are able to visualize these chromosomes if you stain them. Clear? So therefore they are called as colored bodies. Chromosome are nothing but they are thread like self replicating genetic structure containing organized DNA molecule which is packaged and found in the nucleus of the cell. So they are basically, if you see the structure, they are thread-like structures and wound tightly across the entire length. Okay, and they are present in the nucleus of the cell. They are seen during, especially typically in the metaphase stage of mitosis, when the cells are stained with some kind of suitable DNA or basic dye. Why it is said that आपको chromosomes किसी और phase में अच्छे से नहीं दिखता? See, mitosis, we all know mitosis involves which different phases? Can anyone tell me the different phases of mitosis?
Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase.
Yes, it actually starts with your interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and your telophase. Okay, the most appropriate phase wherein you want to observe your chromosomes. Even we have, we have studied mitosis, we have studied cell division using the onion root tips. Okay, the
Yes.
time, yes, everyone, we all have done that particular experiment, right? The uh, phase which we target, okay, we fix the cells to, we add colchicine, we fix the cells, okay, and we usually arrest the cells at the metaphasic state. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, why metaphasic state? It is because it is that stage of the cell, okay, जहाँ पे आपको chromosomes अच्छे से दिखते हैं, a well condensed state of the chromosome is seen. Otherwise, what happens if you look at the cell in its prophase or in its interphase in the earlier phases, आपको अगर एक्चुअल क्रोमोसोम स्टडी करना है, आपको एक्चुअल क्रोमोसोम डिफेक्ट्स आइडेंटिफाई करने हैं, तो वो पर्टिकुलर स्टेजेस में पॉसिबल नहीं हो सकता या नहीं होता है usually. Why? Because there are some deletions, there are some additions, there are different kinds of chromosomal abnormalities which can be visualized the best when the chromosomes or the cell is in its metaphasic stage. Yes, so therefore we usually target metaphase stage, okay, while studying the chromosomes. Clear? अदरवाइज या तो सेल, या तो आपके क्रोमोसोम्स बहुत लूज इन स्ट्रक्चर में रहेंगे एज इन केस ऑफ योर इंटरफेस और इन द प्रोफेज स्टेज. ओके, अदरवाइज एनाफेज में इट वुड बी समवेयर टुवर्ड्स द you know
Poles.
towards the poles and all. So जो भी स्टडी होनी है क्रोमोसोम की, वो उतने अच्छे से बेस्ट रिजल्ट्स में नहीं हो पाती, एंड देयरफॉर इट इज वेरी एसेंशियल दैट यू स्टडी द क्रोमोसोम्स इन their metaphase stage. Okay, and there are reagents, there are chemicals which are available which will arrest your cells in the metaphase stage. ओके, सो ऑब्वियसली इवन ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मेटाफेज ही स्टडी किया जाता है. The other important stage at which the chromosomes can also be visualized is your interphase stage. ठीक है, मोस्टली आपके जो भी फिश के एक्सपेरिमेंट्स होते हैं वो कई बार आपके इंटरफेस क्रोमोसोम्स पे भी स्टडी होते हैं. ठीक है, नॉट गोइंग इन टू मच डेप्थ इन दिस वेरी फर्स्ट लेक्चर. यहाँ पे हम बेसिकली सिर्फ आपके क्रोमोसोम स्ट्रक्चर, इफ एट ऑल जैसे जैसे हम आगे बढ़ते हैं, जैसे जैसे वो टेक्निक्स व्हेन वी कम अक्रॉस, आई विल टॉक अबाउट मच डिटेल्ड ओवर देयर. ठीक है, बट द major phase in which the chromosomes are studied are in their metaphasic stage. So chromosomes are seen, so this it was the scientist who first discovered this thread-like structure was E. Strasburger in the year 1875. Okay, he was the first scientist who discovered these thread-like structures which appeared during the cell division. However, remember, he was not the one who coined the term chromosome. Okay, so these thread-like structures are present in all types of organisms, all eukaryotic, especially all higher uh, um organisms. And these structures are organized, well organized in the nucleus, and they are present in specific number. They have a typical size, definite size, and they also have a definite shape. So the chromosomes will vary. Okay, the number of chromosome, the size of the chromosome, as well as the shape of the chromosome will vary from one organism to another organism. It will never remain the same. Clear? So it was actually Waldeyer who coined the term chromosome the first time in the year 1888. The somatic chromosome number is the number of chromosome which is found in the somatic cell. Okay, and it is usually diploid in case of mammals. Clear? So your somatic cells are all of your cells apart from your sex cells, and the germ cells, or you can say gametic chromosome, they are the number of the gametic chromosome is usually the half the number of your somatic chromosome number. Okay, and it is represented by n. So your 2n is the diploid state, and it is the state of chromosome in your somatic cell. N is the haploid state, and it is the state of chromosome in your you can say germ cell. Clear? So further, the two copies of the chromosomes are ordinarily identical in morphology. Okay, and the with respect to gene content, the gene order, and therefore they are known as homologous chromosome. It I'm using the term ordinarily identical in the sense they are not completely identical. Why? Because one, the pair is considered to be a homologous chromosome. One is coming from the mother, the other is coming from the father. So they are not completely identical here, and more or less they will have the same the gene content. Okay, they may have the same order of the genes which is present, and the morphology of both of chromosome, both the homologous if you say chromosome 1, okay, जो भी होमोलोगस पेयर में जो दो क्रोमोसोम्स प्रेजेंट रहते हैं, जो दो होमोलोगस क्रोमोसोम्स, दे आर सिमिलर इन मॉर्फोलॉजी एंड देयरफॉर दे आर grouped together. Clear everyone? Clear
Yes.
till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So here we have chromosomes of two types. Okay, one set is given the term autosomes, the other set is given the term sex chromosomes. Okay, autosomes are the ones which control the characters other than the sex characteristics. Okay, or they are the genes which actually code for your somatic characteristic, be it your eye color, your hair color, the way I mean, all other things except for the sexual features. Clear? Or sexual characteristics, which typically your X and Y chromosomes code for. Clear? So the chromosome from chromosome 1 to chromosome number 22, okay, are your autosomes. The 23rd chromosome, or you can say the X or your Y chromosome, depending whatever it is, that those chromosomes are called as your sex chromosomes. So chromosomes, these particular chromosome is involved in sex determination. So we all know that we humans and most of the other mammals, they have the X chromosomes, X and Y. And since there are two types of X chromosomes, they are also called as heterosomes. Clear everyone? The term given is called as heterosome. Why? Because there are two sex chromosomes, one is X, the other is Y. Okay, females, we all, the females in you, especially in humans, okay, we have two X chromosomes. Okay, and the males have one X and one Y chromosome. So males in humans are heterogametic and the females are homogametic. Please understand these terms. Okay, note it down somewhere if you want. Clear? It might be asked in your MCQs as well. Clear? So females in humans are homogametic and males in humans are heterogametic. When I talk about birds, the female is denoted with the karyote is denoted as ZW. Okay, and bird, in case of birds, the female is heterogametic and the male is ZZ, is which is homogametic. Am I clear with this till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Coming to the features of eukaryotic chromosomes. So here majorly we now slowly start streamlining ourselves, okay, towards human cytogenetics. We will be dealing whole and solely with human cytogenetics and not with plant cytogenetics. Okay, so streamlining ourselves to eukaryotic chromosomes. What are the different features of eukaryotic chromosomes? Even plants, definitely they are eukaryotes. Okay, so but we will be mostly focusing with the aspect of human chromosomes. So chromosomes are best visible during the metaphase. The first very feature of a eukaryotic chromosome, if you want to study any kind of chromosome, especially in humans, you have to, it is best visible during its metaphase. Chromosomes bear genes in linear fashion. Clear? So genes are placed in a linear fashion throughout the chromosome. The chromosome will vary with respect to shape, with respect to size, the number in different species of plants and animals. They have the property of self duplication, and even they have the property, not to forget, they are capable of getting mutated as well. Okay, so depending upon the cell division, depending upon different factors, okay, they are enough sufficient enough to produce even new mutations. Sometimes mutations are inherited from the parents to the offsprings, but in some cases they are even spontaneous. So chromosomes, they have the property of self duplication as well as mutation. And chromosomes are composed of DNA, RNA, and protein. So these are the different features of a typical eukaryotic chromosome. Now we come to the chromosome size. So what is the size of a chromosome? Chromosome size is measured at the mitotic metaphase. Usually अगर आपको chromosome size को measure करना है, okay, क्या length है, it is usually measured in terms of length and diameter. So if at all you want to measure the chromosome, अगर कोई आप species specific study कर रहे हो कोई भी species का, okay, and if you are doing a detailed study, you need to measure the size, the length of the chromosome. So it is usually done in the metaphasic stage. Clear? And so the plants usually tend to have larger chromosomes than in case of animals. So जो भी plants है, okay, the chromosome size varies from 0.8 to 7 micron meter in length, whereas in case of animals the chromosome size varies from 0.5 to 4 micron meter in length. The chromosome size varies from species to species. Clear? So the chromosomes are the longest and the thinnest during their interphase stage, or the resting stage, and hence they are not visible under the light microscope. Clear? So if at all you want to visualize the chromosomes, it is better you observe under the when the chromosomes are in the metaphase stage. The chromosomes are the smallest and the thickest during the mitotic metaphase, and therefore this particular phase is selected for its better visualization. The chromosome size is never proportional to the number of genes which is present on the chromosome. It does not mean that अगर chromosome size छोटा है तो उसमें कम genes present है, बड़ा है तो ज़्यादा genes present है. The location of the centromere on each chromosome gives the chromosome its characteristic shape. Clear? So depending upon where the centromere, I hope you people know what is a centromere.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The
Yes, ma'am.
position of that particular centromere, कहाँ पे वो along the length of the chromosome, at where it is placed, that will ultimately decide the shape of the chromosome. So we know the size of the chromosome. Okay, now we will be dealing with the chromosome number. So chromosomes can be present in a diploid and a haploid chromosome number can be present. So diploid cells are nothing but they are 2n, where n is the denotes the chromosome number. It These cells basically they are the somatic cells, and they have two homologous copies of each chromosome. Now here when I say diploid or haploid, it majorly deals with humans. Why? Because plants can even be tetraploid, triploidy in nature. So I'm not talking with respect to plants. I'm here wherever it is not specified anything, it majorly deals with uh, are humans, in humans case. Clear? So diploid cells are the cells which have two homologous copies of each chromosome. So if you have chromosome number 1, you have chromosome 1 to 22 kuch bhi ho, okay, you have two copies or two homologous copies of each chromosome. Clear? The body cells of animals are diploid in nature. Haploid cells, that means only n, it has only one copy of each of the chromosome. Clear? Now if I am saying if it is an X wala sex cell, okay, or a gamete, then it will have the X chromosome. Okay, so it will have the 22 autosomes and one X chromosome. If it is a Y gamete, it will have 22 autosomes and one Y chromosome. Clear? So दे आर हैप्लॉइड सेल्स, वेराज यहाँ पे जो भी डिप्लॉइड सेल्स रहेंगे आपको सबके होमोलोगस कॉपीज भी प्रेजेंट रहेंगे. ठीक है? सो दे विल हैव 46 chromosomes in total in all of your diploid cells, and here in case of haploid cells you will have 23 chromosomes. Clear everyone with this diploid and haploid state?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The chromosome number can vary from 2n, which is equal 2n to 2n, which is equal to more than 1200. Okay, so 2n could be 4. It could be even where n is equal to 2, or even depending upon the number of chromosomes, it can vary because different species may have different number of chromosomes. So the number of chromosomes varies from species to species. Normally all individuals of a species will have the same chromosome number. If there is any variation, that accounts to chromosomal abnormality. So in case of humans, कितने हमारे पास how many chromosomes we have in total?
46.
46.
46. So, yeah, so it is
46.
yes, very good. So it is 46 chromosomes, and if you want, it can be said in other ways also. We have 23 pairs. Okay, so do not get confused. If it is talking about 23 pairs, it is equal to 46 chromosomes. Such questions are usually asked in case of MCQs type to even confuse students. Okay, so it is 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes, not 23 chromosomes. If it is 23 chromosomes, it's a wrong option. Coming to homologous chromosomes. So diploid organisms have two copies of each chromosome except for the sex chromosome. तो कभी भी अगर diploid cell है उसमें एक ही sex chromosome रहेगा, उसका homologous pair sorry, if it is a female, be it a female, it will have one X chromosome. If it is a male, it will have either one X or one Y, X and Y chromosome. Clear? So diploid organisms will have two copies of each chromosome. Clear? So both the copies are ordinarily identical in morphology with respect to the gene content, the gene order, and hence they are known as homologous chromosomes. each pair of chromosome is made up of two homologs. So if you are analyzing, if my blood is drawn and my karyotype or my chromosomes are visualized, okay, I will actually show 22 homologous chromosomes, okay, and two X chromosomes. ठीक है, क्योंकि I am a female, so there would be two X chromosomes in my case. Clear? If male chromosomes are cells are visualized, that particular male will be showing 22 autosomes, one X chromosome and one Y chromosome in its somatic cells. Clear, everyone? Yes or
Yes,
no?
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So homologous chromosome is inherited from separate parents. So one homolog will come from the mother and the other homolog will be coming from the father. So this is something which is quite basic. Here is the list of a few, किसको कितने chromosomes रहते हैं. Humans will have 46 chromosomes. A pea plant has 14. Buffalo has 50. So these are the different chromosome numbers of each of the different species. Clear? Coming to the chromosome structure, we have already seen the approximate size of the chromosome. We have seen the chromosome number with respect to humans. So diploid case is 2n, haploid case is n, 2n meaning 46, n meaning 23. Here, coming to the chromosome structure. So talking about the chromosome morphology, mitotic metaphase is the most suitable stage for studies on chromosome morphology. The chromosome morphology changes during the cell division. We all know that we have all studied cell division, mitosis. Yes, so we already know कि how the chromosome का जो morphology है, it changes from thin to coil to elastic thread-like structures during the interphase stage. Then once the interphase stage is completed, as the cells enter the mitosis, the chromosome becomes slowly and steadily, it tries to condense itself so that they can be distributed into the daughter cells equally. Clear? So in mitotic metaphase, the chromosomes, the following structural features can be seen. So if at all you want to study chromosomal morphology, it is best studied during the metaphase stage. So this is a typical metaphasic chromosome, you can say. I hope you have studied this earlier. Still, you can brush it up. A chromosome will have a centromere. Now, this particular position of the centromere can vary. It can be present exactly at the middle, or it can be present anywhere along the length of the chromosome. We'll come to that later. Okay. The centromere is accompanied with with other additional protein molecules called as kinetochores. Okay, now it is because of the kinetochores that the chromosome is able to, attach to the spindle fibers during the cell division process. So जो भी आपके spindle fibers form होते हैं during the anaphase stage, जो hold करते हैं आपके individual chromosomes, it is through these kinetochores present on the centromeres. So usually अगर आपने draw भी किए हैं cells in the mitotic phase, या आपने अगर देखे भी रहेंगे, so जो hold करता है, that is at the centromeric position. The chromosomes are held at the centromeric position to the spindle fibers through kinetochores. Okay, now these centromeres, they usually produce a constriction in this chromosome and that particular constriction is called as the primary constriction. Okay, so the groove, or you can say a small fold which is made, a small constriction which is made at the centromeric end, okay, is called as the primary constriction. Any other additional constriction along the length of the chromosome is called as secondary constriction. Remember, ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि सिर्फ centromeric part में ही constriction होता है. Okay, the centromeric part वाला constriction को primary constriction term दिया जाता है, and any constriction additional to this particular primary constriction which can occur anywhere along the length of the chromosome is called as the secondary constriction. Clear? Apart from the centromere, okay, this centromere actually divides the entire chromosome into two parts. Okay, you have one arm here, you have another arm here. So depending where this particular centromere is present, it can produce one arm short and one arm long. Okay, we'll come to the arms later. Apart from this, what is there is satellites. So satellites are usually regions which is produced due to the secondary constriction. So the segment of your chromosome, okay, the region between the the secondary constriction and the telomere and the nearest telomere, okay, is actually called as the satellite. Clear? So this is the constriction which is produced, and such chromosomes bearing a satellite, not all chromosomes will bear a satellite, but the chromosomes which bear a satellite, okay, are called as satellite chromosomes. Satellites are nothing but they are some conserved regions, they are some marker sequences which are present, which may be present on the chromosomes. They are usually used for identifying one individual from the other. ठीक है? So जो आप usually we learn about these SNPs, microsatellites, and VNTRs and RAPDs. So all of these majorly target these conserved regions. Clear? The ends of the chromosome are called as telomeres. Clear? So this particular part and this particular part, both of them are sister chromatids. So if I consider only this left hand segment, okay, this is one chromatid, this right hand segment is another chromatid, and when this particular segment gets duplicated, okay, it forms sister chromatids. So the two chromatids of one particular chromosomes are identical. क्यों? क्योंकि ये पूरा वैसे के वैसे replicate हुआ है यहाँ पे. So they are called as sister chromatids. So this is one chromosome. जो homolog इसका आएगा, उसके जो chromatids रहेंगे, okay, they will be called as non-sister chromatids. क्योंकि ये chromosome और इसका जो भी homolog आएगा, they will be not identical in nature. So therefore those chromatids will be called as non-sister chromatids. Am I making myself clear to everyone, or is it confusing?
Clear, ma'am.
Clear, na?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yes. So a single chromatid can also be called as a chromosome. ठीक है? Why? Because it contains all the information. So when this particular chromatid gets duplicated, it will form an entire dyad, or you can say such terms will be coming in the near. I mean, you might have studied in your cell division process triad हुआ, dyads हुआ. So it is a dyad, and it consists of two sister chromatids. So what is a chromatid basically? Each metaphasic chromosome, it appears to be longitudinally divided into two identical pairs, each of which is called as the chromatid. As I said, they both are identical in nature. Each is called as a chromatid. Both the chromatids of a chromosome appear to be joined together at a point known as a centromere. So both of these chromatids will be joined at this particular position called as the centromere. The two chromatids of a chromosome separate from each other during the mitotic anaphase. So what happens in the anaphase? ये जो दो सिस्टर क्रोमैटिड्स है, they will separate. Sorry, one sister chromatid will move towards one pole. This particular this other part of this chromatid will move towards the opposite pole, and that is how the daughter cells will receive the equal number of chromosome as the mother cell. Okay, and not the half. So then when that daughter cell again starts its mitotic cycle, it will duplicate, the entire process starts again, synthesis or duplication of the DNA, and then further how the entire mitosis proceeds. So since the two chromatids making up a chromosome proceed through the replication of a single chromatid during synthesis phase or of the interphase, they are referred to as sister chromatids. In contrast, the chromatids of homologous chromosomes are known as non-sister chromatids. I told you earlier also, जो भी homolog pair आएगा इसका, उसके जो भी chromatids रहेंगे, they will be referred to as non-sister chromatids. Am I clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I can, okay, I'll just complete this. Yeah. So centromere has a primary constriction. So centromere is a landmark for identification of chromosome. Usually हम later topics में जब हम और deep में जाएंगे, we will be studying how chromosomes are classified, on basis of what they are classified. So जो भी classification part है, that majorly is deals with identifying the chromosome, और chromosome कैसे identify करते हैं, depending upon the position of the centromere. So each chromosome has a constriction point called as the centromere. Okay, to this centromere you have molecules called as kinetochores attached, and these kinetochores actually help the chromosome to be held at that mitotic spindle. Okay, so it divides the chromosome into two sections or arms. So centromere actually divides the entire chromosome into two sections, or you can say it divides it into two arms. The short arm of the chromosome is called as the P arm. Why P arm? Because the term P actually stands for petite. Okay, petite in means small. Okay, and the long arm of the chromosome is called as the Q arm. So if at all this particular, if you see this picture, this is my long arm, this is my short arm. Okay, so this is my P arm, and this longer arm is called as my Q arm. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Coming to telomere. So telomeres are nothing but the ends of the chromosomes. Okay, they are called as telomeres, and they play a critical role in chromosome replication and maintenance of chromosomal length. Okay, so telomeres are very important. It does not allow any loss of chromosomes genes during replication part. So it takes care of that, and they are highly stable in nature. Telomeres of different chromosomes, they do not fuse. Okay, so it does not cause any fusion of the chromosomes within the cell, and the telomeric region of chromosome is made up of repetitive sequences of TNG bases. What are secondary constrictions? Secondary constrictions are constrictions up in addition to the primary constriction, as I told you earlier, and it gives rise to satellite regions. So chromosomal region between the secondary constriction and the nearest telomere is called as the satellite, and the chromosome that possesses this region are called as satellite chromosomes or the SAT chromosomes. So the region which you can see between the secondary constriction and the nearest telomere, this particular region can be considered as a satellite. Okay, and the chromosome bearing such satellite are called as the SAT chromosomes or the satellite chromosomes. Clear? So I will stop here. We will study the chromosome shape in the next lecture. Clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Any
Okay,
doubt till
ma'am.
here? Anyone facing any doubt? Any
No.
explanation needed?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No, ma'am.
fine.